back, Skeksis suckers, to another episode of Emrae, a D&D campaign in a world of my own design. We're playing 5th edition, and as always, I am Skeksis, your lovable bearded GM. With us as usual are Jindorum Jin Draprax, our dragonborn sorcerer, Leganor, our human fighter bard, mostly bard, I don't know why, I should make it a bard fighter, not a fighter bard, and Wallace Stoneguard, our human tank, who looks just like that. We know this because Hero Forge is a thing. Not sponsored by Hero Forge. Anyway, when we last left our party...
Did you check the audio on the stream? Just out of curiosity.
I did, and thank you. When we last left our party, we were in the midst of an arena fight. Jenny and the Bets fighting against Fwosty and the Snow Cones in a pared-down 2v2 match.
One snow cone.
Fwosty's snow cone and the rando. In any case, we're in the middle of what turned out to be a labyrinth encounter as walls erected from the floor, cutting off our path to the fabled blue orb in the center. Now, Jin and Leganor were late to the party, and as such have been sitting in the stands, communicating via message to Wallace in hopes to guide him, since as spectators they can see the whole overlay of the map, and the arena's not designed for people who have magical abilities, and they didn't really think of that. So, if memory serves, when we ended the encounter last time, it was Jin and Leganor's turn up in the stands to communicate, or do whatever they want to do within their 6-second window. We're giving them a round of combat for those of you who don't know what's happening. In order for them to see what's happening in Roll20, I'm just moving their tokens to wherever the action is. But in fact, they are standing over here in the stands and not actually on the battlefield. So, Jin and Leganor, it is your combined turn in combat.
Oh, let me know if I need to deafen again.
Oh yeah, so why don't you go ahead and do that? Oh no, you won't have to do that until it's the NPC's turns.
Okay.
All right, so Leganor. All right, so we gotta. Let me see where he is there. Okay, yeah, we gotta tell him to go south to the traps.
Where
then
are you seeing? Did you
did
scroll up?
Did we make a note? I thought we made a note at the end of last encounter.
Yeah, Wallace, move to your east.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I think it was.
The last thing I remember hearing was basically like go east and then follow the wall left. That's basically what I remember.
Yeah, it's
what they had actually said was go south back over the traps, take your first right, then follow the wall to the left. Were the instructions you last heard?
Yeah.
Go south back over the traps, and then follow the wall to my left. Is that what you said?
Make your first right.
Okay, and then follow the wall on the left. Okay.
So we'll see. Let me just take a peek here. This is what Wallace can see, for those of you watching the stream. There we go.
It ain't much.
So that, I believe, was last round of combat, not this round of combat. Or was that this round of combat? I don't remember anymore.
I'm fairly confident they told me that message at the very end of last time.
Okay. All right. Then that will bring up the NPC's turn. So, Mike, you can go ahead and deafen. I assume that means he's deafened. So, Jin and Leganor, we're going to move you guys over here. This fella is making his way downtown. He is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't know if you guys saw where he went. I'll move you guys over here.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I can move. You don't have to move yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So he went down this kind of hallway to here, and upon arriving in that square, this little feller jumps down from atop the wall, and is occupying this square. Upon seeing the spider, our friend Marco, I gotta pull all these character sheets out again. I wish I would remember what things I had open last time, because I have all these like tabs and sheets and stuff. So he, as the thing drops in front of it, swings his robotic arm twice. Wow. The first hit is incredibly powerful, and he clangs right into the side of the thorax. And then the second swing also connects, and he does considerable damage. 12, 18, 18, 18. Yeah, he like chunks this thing, and it's looking like it's bleeding some kind of fluid, and he then ends his turn standing right there in front of the spider. You then see over on this side of the action the titular Jenny, who has realized that she's hit a dead end and begins running back the way she came to take a different path. So she runs out that way. She makes it all the way to about here.
So
And when that happens, yet another spider drops down behind her. And she... I gotta pull her character sheet out. She, hearing it fall behind her, can't react because she was dashing and moved further than her normal move speed. So she just kind of stops in place. No. She realizes she can't attack it, so she makes the additional 20-foot run and makes it to here. While the spider ends its turn right there. Well, not its turn, but you know what I mean.
Mhm.
That being said, the spider then gives chase, and it leaps into the air 20 feet up and drops down right behind her, not on top of her. I gotta pull that character sheet out. And it is going to bite at her, but misses terribly and is unable to connect. Gotta read this other tab. Is that a bonus action? Yes. It then uses its bonus action, however, and shoots out electrified web, covering. Draw shape. No, freehand. Hang on. Freehand. This goofy color over here. Why is Christina calling me? One moment, everybody. Yes. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Those house discussions that were urgent because there's a house we want to look at that's gonna like take their offer tomorrow, so we have to see it. Anyway,
See it quick.
yeah. So this spider jumps down here, spreads the web. That's what I was doing, freehand. And the web encompasses this. No, damn it, this color. The web encompasses this whole area in web. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 da. Whoever remains to destroy webbing cover. Any enemy creature who comes in contact. Okay, so that will only affect her when she moves. Is there a DC? I forget how I made this stupid web. Oh yeah, so she has to make a dex save. Dun 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 dun. Boop. And she fails. And the Mechano Web discharges, dealing some lightning damage. So she takes some amount of damage from the lightning in the web. So the webbing is now in place and is difficult terrain, but is no longer electrically charged. Okay, now over here, I'm going to move you guys over to Marco. This spider reels back and tries to bite at Marco, succeeding, dealing a bunch of damage. He has to make a dex save and fails. So he takes a considerable amount of damage as well. And then back to Wallace, who is still dealing with this spider.
Hello.
Hey, so this spider over here, Wallace.
What, this fighter over here?
Spider.
Oh, spider, yes.
Yeah, the spider jumps vertically 20 feet up into the air and lands on top of you.
I can't attempt to deflect it with my shield since I see it coming, since it's 20 feet up in the air.
It's a strength saving throw, please.
So yeah.
So you're not you're not grappled. The spider lands in a space adjacent to an enemy. You can make a bite. Okay. If it lands on top, then it is okay. So it uses its bonus action, being atop of you. No, I'm sorry. You save, so it's not occupying your space, but it does make a bite against you, missing, and then for its actual attack, makes another bite and misses as well. And that brings up your turn.
Thwack.
That is a critical miss. So you
Are
definitely
there any other
don't hit it.
consequences to this?
Well, flip a coin. So roll a d2. On a 2, something good will happen. Or excuse me, a d2. Yeah, a d2. All right. So you miss, but in your stumble, your sword discharges an electrical charge. So you can roll the arc sword damage at the spider. There you go.
I'll take it. Swing, bada bada.
Oh wait, actually, that's lightning damage.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Yeah. So the spider definitely gets affected and is like only one of its legs is kind of limping along.
Well, then I swing and hit it, and then do another. I'm assuming 2 damage.
You do, but that is enough, and it powers down and falls apart into 2 metal halves.
Alright. All right, so it's been a week. So in my defense, you said all right. So the directions were move back across the traps and
the
turn
words
right.
they said to you were Wallace, move south, back across the spikes, take your first right, then follow the wall on your left.
Okay.
So, however you interpret those instructions, execute.
All right, Santa, follow me.
All right, I'll follow you wherever you want me to go, buddy.
Let's see. Oh, wait, no.
That voice never gets old.
I'm serious. If Mike ever DMs, I'm making a character who talks like that.
20. Huh. 25. 35. I don't know, 30. All right.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think it's 25. I have to
Really?
double check. Dun, 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 dun. Gnomes are 25, right? Because they're so
I know. Stand by. I know dwarves are. It would make sense that gnomes are too, but I can't actually say that for certain.
I can't find his darn character sheet. Where the heck is this guy?
Where's movement? Size? Oh, speed. Yeah, it's 25.
Okay.
I was looking for the word movement. It's the word speed.
All right. So you hear him plodding along. He was here at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Well, he could be here.
Is he doing something else? Because he could just rush or run and keep up.
Well, he's right behind you. Do you want him to run ahead of you?
Oh, no. I didn't realize he was next to me. It's fine.
All right, we're going this
Okay.
way, I suppose.
Okay.
And that brings up
Now it's
the boys.
I don't know, Leganor. Do we have much else to tell him? He just got to keep moving.
I mean, he knows where he's got to go. And again, Jim, is there like the main overview, or do you only want us to see the dynamic lighting of where our tokens are?
he can't. There's no other way for him to show
Yeah,
you.
the screenshot I gave
Yeah.
you is the full map. So remember the screenshot.
Yeah, so
I
like
sent you in
I'm
Discord?
kind of looking back and forth between the screenshot
I just
and where we are.
I don't know of any
trying
better way to do
figure out.
this because I can't.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't see the screenshot anymore. I don't know if I'm on the wrong.
Just be
Like
higher in the
Discord?
chat, I would think.
In Discord, yeah.
Emrae, of course, right?
Oh,
Yes.
I no longer see it. Oh, I sent.
No,
I'm
I-
sorry. I sent you guys
you sent it
direct
to us
messages.
individually.
It's a direct message. It's not in the call chat.
Yes.
So you have to look
Right.
at
So
your.
I'm in the Emrae
No.
direct.
Yeah, it's a direct message with
Jeez.
me. It's not in the Emrae game.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault.
There we go. Okay.
Because I didn't want Mike to be able to see
So-
it. That's why I didn't put it in the chat.
All right, so we got to tell him he went the wrong way. If I can just try to orient myself based on this map, that's what I'm trying to do now.
Oh,
And yeah, you too. If you want to move your tokens around beyond where I put you, that's fine. Like you're only on the map,
Yep.
so you can see what's happening. So if it's helpful,
That's what I'm doing now, so I can.
That's fine.
I think. Okay. Okay. Never
All
mind.
right, we have to figure out
What are you
now. We
gonna
have
say,
to.
Mike?
Okay. So I'm moving my token. I could have sworn they told me to go this way,
So they've
but
given
then you were telling me to
two
go
different.
back across the.
They've given you two different instructions so far in this fight. The first time
Oh.
they did tell you to go that way. The second set of instructions they said go south across the spikes the way you came, then take your first right and follow the wall on your left. I remember these very clearly because I was also following the instructions to see if they were good instructions.
Aha.
So the second set of
that
instructions
was-
told you to go back across the spikes.
Okay. So yeah, so
Mike, I'm gonna give you.
I'm pretty sure we said
no, never mind.
east, but that's okay. All right. So
This
That's
may,
fine,
So
we can-
that might
we
just
can
be
work with this.
Mike Irwin's lack of memory.
Yeah, because so I thought my initial thought when I left was like, okay, I need to go this way now, But then you told me like go back across. Then you said they said to go back across the spikes. I'm like, oh, I could have sworn they said go this way. But all right. So I don't know if we
Across the
want to.
spikes, then go east, but it's okay. We can work with this. So,
Yeah, I
Leganor,
mean, you are where you
now
are.
we got to tell him.
This is part of the fun.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Leganor, now we got to tell him to again follow the wall on his left from where he is exactly. Right? Oh no, wait.
I can't. I'm trying to get back to you guys.
I think
That's
so.
Oh, I can move you, Jeff. If you ever need to get back, just tell me.
please, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
Perfect. There we go. Okay. So now he has to follow the wall on his left-hand side. So, Leganor, if you follow me, this is where it's going to bring him. It'll bring him into this area. All right, so yeah, follow the wall on your left until you get to the large open area. Tell him that. And that's basically where he's going to get in one turn.
Say that again. Follow the large area.
Follow the wall on his left-hand side
Okay.
until
Sorry.
he reaches the spider.
Well, okay.
I'm trying to get my bearings. I got them now. So.
So like this is the wall that he'll follow here. If you come
Just the
around
spike.
this way.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So so follow the wall to his left until,
On his left hand, yes.
and then what?
And Mike,
Un-
just so you know,
Till he gets to the open
facing-
area.
You're facing this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Wallace, what you
Wall
want
is
to do?
facing the right way on the way, but
What you want to do is follow the wall to your left until you reach the open area. You'll see the open doorway where you started
That's
and a
too many
spider.
words.
Wait, he's facing this way, correct?
Yeah, he's facing the correct way. For
Okay,
your
yes.
instructions.
Okay, good. Yep.
I got up to the open doorway and then it cut off.
Did you actually click the deafen button, Mike? That's what you should do when you're counting words. When you
I was
get
like, yep. Until
all right.
you see the open doorway. Cut. Like,
All right.
and I thought I used too many words.
Mike, you can go and deafen. We got NPC stuff. So over here, Marco, seeing the success of his punches, decides to do that again, and makes a couple of big old fisty swings. One of which definitely hits. The other one does not. The one that hits deals some damage. He then tries to... If I were Marco, how would I do this? Yeah, no, that's probably his best bet. And then over here, Jenny and friend, she takes out her squirty gun and shoots a cone of green, excuse me, not a cone, squirts a green mist in this area, like away from the spider. And she starts to feel a little bit better. Dun, dun, dun. She gains some health. And she has to make a con save, but fails. She then whips out her wrench and clangs it against the spider's thorax, hitting for some amount of bludgeoning damage. The spider leaps into the air, excuse me, and lands atop her. And she has to make a strength save. I think that fails. That does fail. So she is now grappled, and it makes 2-bite attacks, which both are successful. And she has to make con saves, one of which is successful. So she takes, okay, let me see. Minus that, minus that. Whew. Minus that. And, wow, he exactsies her. So he leapt in the air, landed on her, grappled her, and dug his fangs into her shoulder twice. She is shocked by electricity, takes a bunch of damage, and falls unconscious.
Wow.
Oop, I didn't mean to move the web. So yeah, these spiders are no joke. Even after I nerfed them, I'm so glad I did. And there are no other active NPCs, so Mike, you're up.
That was quick.
Yeah, you're up, bud.
Alright, Santa, keep up.
Just shout away.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What the hell? Oh, there we go. 35, 40.
You can make that 35.
40.
You can go diagonal.
45, 50. Oh, crap. I'm going to stay there because I don't want to move further
Alright.
than he can keep up.
He dashes and follows you and catches up. Oh my goodness! There's another one of them beasties.
You got a grenade? Well, he just used up all his actions, so no.
Ask me next. Ask me in a second.
Okay.
He begins rummaging in his bag, but that ends his turn.
You got it, Santa.
You're up, Jin and Leganor. Just to move you over where the action is with Mike. He is here.
Ahaha.
Good. Alright, so we just gotta tell him. Alright, I gotta cross-reference the maps here.
Oh, Mike, that spider that you see. Oh.
It's hurting?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. You're not deafened yet. The spider that you see is, in fact, hurting, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now we can continue. Oh, no. Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I don't see any webbing everywhere, do I?
You don't see any webbing on the ground.
Okay.
Alright, Leganor, now we have to tell him, take out the spider, head due north.
Well, here's what I'm confused about.
Alright, go.
The other guy is there now too. So like, is there like a whole non-interference thing, or is it free for all? Like,
They showed up late.
if you want to, I mean, like, if you want to get all game theory on, you might as well
Take him
this
out.
out. Yeah.
Alright, so tell him, take him out, then head due north until he hits the wall.
Wallace, eliminate the competition, then head due north until you reach the wall.
North until you reach the wall. 13.
Yeah, it works. That's less than 25.
Also, Jeff, most of what Wallace is saying to Santa, you're hearing in your head because he's responding in message.
Oh.
I don't suppose there's any way I can go around this guy.
Was that in message?
The next things he says are in message, aren't they?
The things I say go back, right? So I just... You heard that, yeah.
Well, I can hear you say that, but it doesn't really matter because I can't respond
Right.
without. Yeah.
So.
At least not until next round.
Right.
Okay.
So that pulls up this feller, who Oh, he doesn't have it. Hang on, let me dynamic lighting, vision, safe settings. All right, so he just catches a sight of you.
Come around the corner.
Yeah. So what he does is he yeah. He throws himself against the wall here so he can get an angle, and he whips out it looks like a shotgun, but like it's got a bunch of barrels, and
Oh, great.
and he pulls the trigger, and they start rotating around, and the spider and you and the other guy are all sort of in line as you get well, you hear the thing go chick 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 like that.
Okay.
All creatures in the area are hit by the attack. All right, but I believe he fails to hit everybody. Let me just check his AC. Yeah, he does in fact fail to hit everyone.
Perfect.
And then he reaches back with his. He then takes his right arm, which you notice is fully mechanical, and he punches the spider in front of him.
Does all this in 6 seconds? Damn. Okay.
But also misses.
He's Doc Ock. He's punching Spider-Man with a mechanical hand.
Question.
Yeah.
So my shield gives me half cover when it comes to ranged attacks. Would that apply to Santa behind me here?
I don't think so, because it gives you half cover. It doesn't function as terrain as half cover.
Alright, fair enough.
Perhaps if he was occupying your space, I might give it to you. And since he's a gnome, I think he can.
Oh, I should just get him to do that from now on. Damn. Simplify things immensely.
I
Where's
might,
that handbook?
yeah, I might be able to do that.
I'm trying to imagine the trajectory where you get half cover, but the 3-foot gnome behind you doesn't.
Yeah, I think
All those bullets between my legs.
Yeah, it's like that movie Wanted or whatever. Where they like curve the bullets around.
God, the movie was so dumb.
It was a terrible movie.
10, 15, 20, 25.
I only watched that movie because I was in an airplane.
40, 45, 50.
It's where you usually watch the worst movies.
55.
They had a really good cast and a really terrible execution.
Yes. Well, just the whole concept was insane. We're told to be assassins by a lube.
Morgan Freeman is always the good guy. I don't
Okay.
like him when he's all devious.
So
Yeah.
it's now the spider's turn. The spider that was facing off with Marco will try to do so again. And I don't know what the Twitch terms of service are about what you're doing, Jeff.
It's 100% legal where I am, so
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
I just didn't know. Anyway, the spider's going to bite at Marco and miss. And then from around the corner to your left, Mike, you're standing against a wall.
There's a corner?
Just,
Okay.
like
it's
this
kind of
wall
hard to tell
end,
where
like right
corner-
here.
Okay.
And from around the left of that, you see a bunch of webbing come flying into view and covers this area. So that's all now covered in webbing. Marco has to make a save of some kind. Why can't I remember? I wrote the thing myself. Oh yeah. He has to make a dex save, which he does successfully, and nothing happens. Okay. And that brings up Mike's turn.
Isn't there another NPC? Not anymore.
So
Okay.
there's webbing in front of you, and a spider, and a guy.
And I never had a deafen for the other NPCs, so that is interesting. All right. Okay. Can I move into this? Actually, I'm just gonna move. Okay. There. Looking. Move back. You know, I have this thing. I've never used it, but it seems appropriate now. Santa, you got anything for 2 spiders and a spinny gun guy?
2 spiders and a spinny gun guy? Oh, that's kind of a tall order. You want to pare that request down?
The spinny gun guy. I don't know. Stun him. That's something.
Stun grenade. That's something I can do. He rummages in his sack, pulls out a little blue ball, and hucks it at the guy with the spinny gun.
It's blue? Is it sticky? Please tell me he has sticky grenades.
He hucks it at the guy, and I'm gonna roll this plus this,
No, that's
and
probably not gonna work.
it flies past the spider, doesn't hit Marco. It doesn't make contact with him, but it does land on the ground and stop in place. And he goes, "Just give it a second." Is that your whole turn, Mike? You have more to do.
I will take out my steampunk shotgun
Pulls
that I've
out-
had in my inventory this whole time.
Pulls out the steampunk shotgun, and he shoots at it. What are you shooting?
The guy.
The guy, not the spider?
The guy, not the spider,
Okay.
yes.
Shoots the guy
Because
successfully.
I know how to use this thing.
If you hit an enemy 15 or more feet away from you, you can redirect half the damage dealt to another enemy within 5 feet of your target. So that you may make that choice.
I
So-
choose to may not do that.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean you take half and add it. It means
You can
You would
split.
do, like,
If it's far enough away, it sprays
Seven.
such that you can split the damage up. That's the idea.
interest.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty cool.
come up with some neat ideas, man. I love crafting in this steampunk world off book.
I want to be an artificer in the next version.
You
of
don't
this.
understand, man. Some of my favorite things I've made are the weapons I've given the NPCs.
Mike, why have you only been using this now instead, like swinging around a laser sword that
Anyway,
takes time to reach?
Because I've had you two the whole time.
you do.
Range damage always wins.
The world is wrong. Like, nobody's around to do damage. I have to do everything. I'm supposed to be the wall. I'm surrounded by walls. Everything's wrong.
I'm getting visions of Rutger Hauer, hobo with a shotgun right now.
You
Just
do.
like
You do
always on a
pepper.
rampage.
You do pepper his leather duster with shot.
Actually, can I attack twice with this? I don't know. It doesn't really say. I should be able to, technically, yeah?
If you're a fighter
Yes.
and you get 2
Oh.
attacks per round, then we'll call it a double-barreled shotgun.
Cool.
Okay. Is that the same target?
Yes.
All right. So both of those.
I'm not doing a
hit.
lot of damage, but
Both of those hit. Hey, man, 11 damage is more than no damage.
correct.
Yeah, both hit, and he's peppered with shot. And
I'm sure I just know how to reload this thing.
well, where did you get it?
I mean, when I got the same time I got the sword, which was back when we were with the
Rogan?
Bro, the guy in the woods, right?
Yeah.
yes, the guy with the
So
woods.
I'm sure he would have explained how it works.
I'm sure he would have.
You've had it this long. At some
That
point, you
means
would have.
if you've got shells like that, that means you also have a bandolier like I do. That's kind of cool. That
Oh,
you
how
should-
much ammo did I give you with that? Did we specify it?
30.
Okay, cool. So you now
Oh.
have 28.
Shit.
All right. So it's the gnome's turn, but he already took his turn. He threw the thing, and it landed at his feet. And he said, "Give him a second." So that brings up the party members, Jin and Leganor. From the stands, you witness all of this happen. And what you guys saw that Mike couldn't see was the spider that was all the way to the left climbed and clambered over the walls as the crow flies directly to that location.
You. Okay.
Should I deafen now, or am I good?
It's Leganor and Jin's turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Legs, man, just I don't know. Can you give him any buffs? Any worded buffs?
That is not a bad idea. let me.
Casters in the stands. Who knew? They're still functional.
Well, I gotta. There's range to consider. I can do message because it's a long range, it's 120 feet. But if everything's in like
words of encouragement.
Let me ask you, DM. Let me ask you a question. Within a round or two, could I move my seat to get closer to where they currently are?
You can move within a round the same amount that you can move within a round.
Right. Since I can't see that edge, I can't.
Oh right. What I will do. I forgot about that. What I'll do is I'm gonna put a little pink square where you guys are currently sitting. And then I'll move your token over there, and you can then you can move your token where you think you want to be, and then you can do range checks and stuff.
Okay. Basically, what I'm for.
Or I can do range check. Move yourself where you want to be, and I can give you a range check to see if you're in range.
Okay. So that rangefinder there, that's where they are. So if I can get within that line from the stands, then I would be within range of a 60-foot spell. Is that correct?
If you want to be within 60 feet, you would need to be here.
Okay. So it looks like from where I am now, I could take a dash action to get to here.
Two dashes.
And then
Two dashes would get you in range.
Okay. Then that's what I would like to do.
Okay. So I'm going to move your little pink thing to here. And I will move your body back on the map so you can see what's going on.
Awesome. And you said the other fighter climbed over the wall.
Sorry, Jin, are you following Leganor as he moves through the crowd?
Oh,
Leganor
I guess, yeah. I would, yeah.
Basically ran
if he gets up and walks, I'd be like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, let's go, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll bring you out there just so you can see. You guys were up here. If you move over to the left, and he moved you guys down to here. So the expectation is to get to here-ish, so you're in range of 60 feet.
Got it. Okay.
Anyway,
I love how this is 60 feet, and this is also 60 feet. Yay! Screw Pythagoras.
Non-Euclidean geometry. The world does not exist in squares. That's why they make hex grids. It's for that very purpose.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else happening?
So Jeff dashed and Jin did
That's his
too.
action, yeah.
So that's the action.
Yep, I just kind of followed him, yeah.
Most they could do is chat with each other, which Mike you wouldn't be able to hear anyway.
True.
So we move forward, and this guy, frustrated with his Gatling gun of sorts, just swings two big swings at the spider in front of him, both of which hit. And wow, he exact-seized it. That's awesome.
Another one. Yeah.
So you see him like two solid jacks from Mortal Kombat left hooks, right into the red glowy thorax of the spider, shattering it, leaking different fluids and such, as it falls to the ground motionless.
Does it make a little screeching sound?
No, it makes like it makes the same noise that robots in Final Fantasy X make when Riku steals from them.
It is oddly specific.
That's really specific, yeah.
But you all know what the noise is.
That one actually I'm not familiar with.
Oh yeah, you don't have to actually damage any mechanical units in Final Fantasy X. If Riku uses the steel action, she just dismantles them in one hit. And they just like go. Anyway, this duster-wearing feller, now seeing web all around and another spider and you, tries to dip back the way he came. And makes it to
And
about there. Well,
did he
not
get
there.
electrified?
He has to make a save for that. Da-da-da-da. Bum. He does not. But that does mean he moves slower, so he's actually only here. He's on like the very corner of the webbing, but he was technically in it. This thing comes into vision as it clambers around, and gives chase. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nope, 30. How many times can it do that? User actions 4 times a day. Okay. I don't think you can see where he is anymore.
I can see this.
Well, you can, but you can't.
Oh. Okay.
It's like through the wall.
Oh, all right.
Oh, well, okay. Then I gotta go like this. Da, 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 da.
Should I deafen now?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
Okay. Wallace, it's your turn.
And this thing still looks like it's electrified?
The webbing still has that sort of bluish glow to it.
um. Santa, you got anything to make the blue glow go away? Also, what happened to your grenade?
He moved. It's not Santa's turn yet.
Okay. I suppose I could wait for the grenade to go off and then move. Hopefully, it discharges the fence. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, you could trigger your action. You know, like
goodness. All right.
on your
Well,
turn, you can set a trigger, and the trigger is when the grenade goes, I'm going to take my action. That's a thing you can do in D&D.
yeah. When the grenade goes off, then I'm gonna do my action and move.
Okay. So you've triggered your action. It goes to Santa's turn. On his turn, the grenade does in fact explode. Shrapnel flies in all directions for 10 feet, which doesn't affect anybody here. No, excuse me. It does affect... Oh, I moved the wrong damn spider. Crap. Why are these linked? Okay. I lost track of what I was doing. Oh yeah.
Grenade.
So it explodes. You hear tink 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 as shrapnel flies in all the directions, and let's see. We'll give you a 60% chance. Perfect. It does in fact hit the webbing. I gotta do this again. So it hits the web and discharges. You see the wires are no longer glowing.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna go due north. Now what the fuck do I do?
To your right,
Oh,
Mike,
well,
you see this spider. You see another sort of area of webbing that is still have a blue glow.
that's got the blue glow.
Yeah.
All right. 20. Oh gosh. All right. In that case, I'm gonna go. Let's see. 15, 20, 25. Oh no, hold on. Back up. I was here.
Yes.
5, 10, 15. And this is all difficult terrain, right?
This is all difficult terrain in the web, yeah.
All right. So 20. Crap. 25. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh wait, they said follow that wall. Okay. 25. 30. I think. I'm doing this math terribly. All right, so we'll call that 5, 15, 25, 35, 45,
50,
50.
55.
No, I'm stopping there because I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose Senna.
Okay.
Actually, no, he can move. He can catch up to me. 55. So, goddamn minute. Am I back where I started? Did he just in a goddamn circle? I hope not. All right, I'm stopping right here.
Okay. You do see Skull Crusher follow behind you, and
Very good.
sitting right behind you.
And I'll stop facing east. My east. Okay.
All right. That brings up Jin and Leganor.
Dash again to the 60-foot point, and that will
Put you
conclude my turn.
here.
In fact, the more I think about it, I'll probably have to. Well, it depends on where they move. But yeah.
Can you? All right, he's heading the wrong way. You got to tell him to go back, follow the other wall.
I double
He
moved.
dashed, yeah.
Dash. Then that eliminates your
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you take the
6
dash,
seconds
you
of
forego
chat.
your action to move twice.
Oh.
So he doesn't have an action. He has a bonus action.
But talking is considered an action.
No,
The
speaking
six-
like
Well,
speaking
yeah,
together,
spell.
but messages is spell.
Oh,
he has
but
to
the
cast.
messages. Yep, message. Yep.
I mean, we could always shout, but then everyone would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
I'm assuming message is not a bonus action spell.
No, only healing word really is
Okay.
bonus action.
Okay.
All right, so Jin, you I assume follow suit. So you guys are now you guys are now within range of everyone but Marco. Boom, boom. Speaking of Marco, he
I definitely know.
yeah.
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
He needs to make a check because it's the start of his turn. Stand by. On a failed save, here's to the end of their next turn. They may use their action to make a dex save. So he makes a dex save and is stunned until the end of his turn. His turn ends. He's no longer stunned. Spiders. This spider chases after Marco skittering across its own web, and sinks its teeth in successfully. Marco has to make a dex save again. Excuse me, a con save. Which he fails and takes the full amount of that. Which is Exaxes again.
Oh.
This spider now moves to about here. Movement.
Excuse me, sorry.
Okay.
All right, well, it's your turn. On your turn, you hear the mechanical skittering behind you, and you hear Santa go, "Oh no!"
Oh no! Is that what he said?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move to south to him, and yeah, okay. I'll move to. I will move to engage.
And now it does look slightly beat up.
All right, I will move to engage, and then let's see. Actually, heck, if we can do this. Uh, so
Shieldmaster, if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try and shove.
that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm taking the attack action to swing bada bada.
Okay. Arc Sword, swing. The 13 misses, but the 18 will hit.
A whopping 2 damage, and then I will try to shove him with my shield as a bonus action.
Just try to shove. It just does it.
No, it's my strength versus either their strength or dexterity, and whoever's
gotcha.
higher.
All right, so go ahead and roll your strength. You do, in fact, shove it.
So it just moves back 5 feet.
Okay. Oh, thanks a bunch.
All right. That's me. That's both my actions and my bonus.
Okay, I'll just stand behind you, I guess, unless you want me to do something.
Blow it up!
Blow it up, okay. He rummages in his sack and pulls out a small, brown, wooden-looking skull. It's about this big.
Okay.
He twists the top of the cap of the skull and throws it at the spider.
3 is the number that thou shalt count to. The number that thou shalt count to shall be 3. And misses terribly.
It does not hit the spider, but lands on the floor behind the spider.
Okay.
We're gonna want to get around this wall.
Oh.
And he then ducks around the wall.
Can I still move? Can I do either 10 feet?
Yeah, if you have movement, you have movement.
I mean, I only moved 10 before, so 10 back and here. Okay.
Okay. Jin, you and Leganor are up.
Are we now? Are we still at 60?
You are in range of the action.
Okay. Which range, though?
Like 60.
Sorry.
60 puts you here. You see that?
Sorry, I was looking. You're
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is all 60 feet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well within.
Damn. That one's 30 feet.
30 feet brings you here.
You're not going to be able to get to me in 30 feet.
No. I was going to use Bane on it because it's less obvious, but actually, you know what? Fuck that. I am going to. I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery against the spider that I can see.
Ooh.
Can I upcast that? I think I can. right? No.
Uh,
It just increases in damage at certain level thresholds.
oh, it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
not like,
cantrips only go up with level. You can't pump level spells
okay.
into a cantrip.
So you eight-legged freak, you and your friends, you won't get in the way of what Wallace and Who's It's down there are gonna do. Be gone with you. And I cast Vicious Mockery. It's Wisdom save, and
Yes.
on failure, it's yeah. I don't need to roll anything, right? Other than damage if he fails.
He does fail.
Oh.
It just sounds like you're heckling him from the stands, so it kind of works out pretty well.
It takes a bunch of psychic damage and has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Yep. And it's only a verbal component, so it's not even like, ooh, he's got glowy fingers over there. That one.
Yeah,
It's just
I,
another
I read the spell because I needed to know those things. So you're just a jeering crowd in the stands.
Yeah.
That's why they. Yeah, that's very handy.
Yep.
Your
Occasionally.
mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Nothing like doing emotional damage to an electronic fighter.
Show him
All right.
who's in charge.
So it seems to wince in psychic pain and it seems to appear disheartened.
Sad.
Jin, would you like to do anything?
It's like a sad R2D2 sound. So glad we're doing this episode.
I have nothing I can do unless I wanted to get down onto the field. There is nothing I can do. Oh, wait a minute. No, that wouldn't work. Okay. Yeah, no, I got nothing. So,
Okay.
yay! Go Wallace!
I appreciate your words of encouragement.
The spider jumps into the air and lands on the other side of the wall on top of Skullcrusher.
Of course it does.
Skullcrusher needs to make a roll. And succeeds.
Oh, good. Actually, that's bad in this case, but
So it is not grappled. It does, however, since it landed on top of him, make 2 bite attacks, one of which hits. And Skullcrusher also has to make a save. Dun, 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 dun.
Where is he being hit?
The spider is in the same space as him. It landed on him, on top of him.
Oh.
Oh, but since he wasn't grappled, it shifted actually.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, because his box is like a full square, so it was overwriting the spider. Anyway,
Okay.
saving throws. Tie is a pass or a fail?
ties go to the defender.
Ties go to the defender. Okay, so he defends and only takes that amount. That, and then that. Hang on. So that should be. Why won't this change?
He's invulnerable.
This is frustrating. Oh, because it's just a token. So I have to just manually write it in. Okay, how do I do that? This is terrible. Why won't it change? This is so frustrating. Okay, it updated. Okay, well that was super annoying. Sorry about all that. Wallace, that's your turn.
I am going to move into the same space as Santa.
Sure.
Why can't
Santa.
Oh. Hold on. I'm just grabbing my thing. All right, so I'm going to move. I'm going to attempt to grapple the spider.
That's what,
Which is,
that's
again-
just strength v strength.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You are successful.
I am now going to drag it with me and shove it over here. So I'm trying to shove it basically to where Jin's token is.
I don't know the mechanics to that.
I literally just run them. I can move something to wherever I want once I've successfully grappled it, but it reduces my movement to half, and then it has to use its own action to get out of the grapple.
So with each 5 feet, it gets a break grapple attempt.
No, it's like its own. Well, on its turn, it has to use
On
an
its
action to
turn.
break the grapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess you do that.
So I grab it and basically throw it, basically shove it down, and I'm trying to hold it in. Basically, I'm hoping that grenade fucking hits right there. Actually, if I can put it there, I will. I don't know
So
if
it's
that's a
still
wall or not.
grappled down, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is still grappled.
That's nifty.
There are entire builds built around grapple.
I get you.
I choose never to use them, but this is the one instance where I'm like, I know this thing's gonna blow up. So, and technically, I can still do my second attack. I think because I only use one. Because it says with the grapple actions, it says you can, if you do the attack action, you can forgo one of your attacks to grapple. So technically, I could be like holding this thing and just wailing on
Sure.
it. So we'll do that, just for funsies. So it takes 5 more damage from just getting thwacked.
Yeah, that definitely happens. Sorry.
And then, and then I'm hoping it explodes.
Wow. So yeah, that's really funny. Yeah. Not only did I roll really well, but even if I hadn't, you brought it low enough that any amount of damage would have killed it.
So I whack it, get it in front of me, and then
The grenade explodes, and a small amount of shrapnel, well, a large amount of shrapnel, but it only took a little bit. It does, in fact, go down from the explosion.
Cool. That was pretty epic.
Yeah, that was a good maneuver.
that's what I do.
Skullcrusher goes, well, that's some fancy feet work there, buddy.
Alright. Since I have no idea where to go for this bloody ball, I'm just gonna hunt down the other guy. Follow me. 5. Let's see. I haven't actually used any of my movement yet, so 5 over this body. 20. Oh, I'm still in it. This is all rough terrain, isn't it? 30. Alright, so I'm here now. You got anything to make us go faster?
Make us go faster. Let's see. I don't think I do.
Anything to slow somebody else down?
That I might be able to handle.
Do that next time we see the dude with the gun.
You got it. All right, Jin and Leganor.
Leganor, he's in the right position. Tell him to keep the wall to the north. How do we phrase this? Keep the wall on his left-hand side to his left-hand side.
Follow the wall to your left-hand side all the way.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, Chrome Dome. This one's real simple. Follow the wall on your left side all the way.
That was close. I'm sure I counted that wrong, but he had to add the Chrome Dome. I'm like, I'm going to laugh if he runs out of words.
Follow the wall.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wallace, that brings up your turn.
What?
I said Wallace.
Wait, what
that
if he
brings
gets
up your
confused and he's like, why would he tell me to follow myself? Because I'm the wall.
Oh, Jesus.
turn.
What? I'm confused what's happening with these NPCs that they're not going, but okay. Alright, so 10, 20, Is this still shocking?
This one here is still shocking.
Be right
Now, that seemed to work before. I will take out my shotgun and try to just shoot the wiring to make it like stop glowing.
Okay. Make an attack roll. 10 or better would have done it. 10 does it. So
Nice.
2 shots.
Ah!
You do in fact dissipate the electrical charge. Is now just difficult terrain.
Okay. Well, that was I just did 30. I had to go through the difficult terrain to get there, and I had to shoot for my other action, so I'm done.
Okay. On what's his face? His turn. He moves up behind you.
Okay. Whose turn is it now?
It is Jin and Legonor's.
Where are all these other NPCs?
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what I want to know. Although apparently,
I'm sure. Jim has his reasons.
Well, if you deafen Mike, I can tell them what's happening. So Jin, Marco's down. Jenny over here is down.
Mm.
And there is a spider over here, but he's like up on top of this pillar. I just can't put his token on it.
Got it.
That you can see, kind of like laying in wait. Also, there's a bunch of other spiders on the map. You know, if Mike were to go the wrong way, he could trigger them. You see them atop the walls waiting to pounce.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where that is on the map.
So where
that
you're currently
is-
standing, the wall below you, is the continuation of the wall that Mike is standing on.
Okay. Should be around there.
So
Will he interact? Oh, I see. There it is.
yeah, let me tell Jeff. Jeff, when you're back, let me know.
I'm here.
All right, so Mike is deafened. He was wondering about the NPCs. Marco and Jenny are both down. They're both unconscious. But there are still atop the walls. There's 1, 2, 3, 5 other mecha spiders on the map. So in the event that Mike went the wrong way, he might trigger them. And one of them is, you can see, is like atop this pillar over here. I'm just gonna move your token so you can see it. I don't know if you saw the movement.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so there's like a pillar right to your left. I can't put the token on it, but that line of sight that's blocking you is where the spider is above, sort of laying in wait.
So, so on the main map, if I saw that correctly, there is not a spider on that screenshot of the whole map. But you're saying there's one there now on top of that pillar?
Yes, it has moved
Okay,
because it was triggered and is closing in.
gotcha.
But it's not actually on the ground. It's up on the walls.
Right.
I've
So
physically
we
can't-
can
I guess
see
I
that
could
right
use
now.
that. Here we go. There it is.
And you're saying we can see that right now as we're directing.
You can
Wallace,
from the
right?
stands. Wallace cannot.
Okay.
So anyway, it is now your turn. I get him to undeafen. He's undeafened, so now you have that information.
Wallace, follow the same directions as before. When you see the pillar, another spider is on top.
18.
Santa, I'm curious how many. I'd like to know how many more of these damn spiders there are. It'd be nice to know that.
I'll be right back.
Hopefully, he heard that. All right. Is it my turn?
It is not your turn.
Okay. Should I deafen again?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. This thing. Nope. I need to stay right where it's at. That's fine. Alright, it is now your turn.
10. Oh. Okay. 20.
In front of you
Um,
lies the unconscious body of the minigun guy.
30. I will kneel down and check on him. Like, is he dead or is he just out?
He's unconscious.
Okay. I'm going to call that a free action. 40, 50. Stop here. Do I see a pillar in front of me?
So in front of you, you see.
Is that a pillar? I don't.
Yeah, it's like a little cylinder of wall that's just as tall as all the other walls.
Okay. I probably would have been able. Hold on. Would I have seen that?
You would have seen that basically from where Marco is.
Oh, I would have.
Yeah, it's the same line of sight.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to stop. All right. In that case, I'm going to stop there and do my dodge action
Okay.
over the guy's body,
All right.
and let Santa get over here.
Santa runs up to here.
Okay.
Jin and Leganor.
Let's just, I guess just buff him or debuff them.
Am I within 60 feet?
I will range check for you. You are.
Just
He is 75 feet away from where you're currently standing.
you could probably move 30 and
To
get within
get
60.
to 60, you would need to move 10 to your right. Excuse me, 15
And-
to your right.
And the one superpower of all Dungeons and Dragons characters,
Is
we all have
knowing
laser range
exact-
fighters.
Yeah, exactly.
we all have laser range fighters in our eyes.
I look at Jin and I say, Jin, what are the odds of getting a dimension door across the arena so we can be in range for the home stretch?
Can do. Whoops. I didn't mean to push that.
We should probably back out of the crowd a bit so they don't see us just
6
disappear right in
seconds.
front of the guys. So Jin and I are gonna back out of the crowd as far as we can. So everyone that we can see is in front of us, and then dimension door across the arena, such that we're at the closest possible point, or just teleport us to the other back wall, and then we'll walk forward to the closest possible point so we can be in range for message and other cantrips.
Now,
I don't really know what you're trying to do.
So we're on the southern wall or state like
Set of stands.
south wall,
Yeah,
right?
the stand on the south wall, correct.
So we're going to walk backwards farther south
Yeah, I
within
get
the
you're
stand,
doing up to where you're trying to dimension door to.
across to the north wall at the back of it.
Right, they're trying to dimension door to the other side of the arena.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have to. It would take like 4 or 5 turns to double move to get all the way around.
I just
So-
don't know if that benefits you in any way.
Well, I mean, if you look at
Alright, I guess it's some benefit. Alright, noted.
yeah,
You can do that next turn.
It's the range on dimension door.
500 feet.
500 feet.
Oh damn.
oh,
Okay.
we can't dimension door this turn.
No, you spent all the time chit-chatting.
Okay,
Fair enough.
You're trying to formulate a plan, and you're trying to cut through crowd and stay unseen.
no, all good.
That's reasonable. Where is Wallace? I'm trying to find him.
I'm on top of Marco.
Ah, okay.
Alright,
So you made. I don't know. If you can see. I don't know if Marco's on top of me or on yours map, but I'm on top of Marco right now.
Wallace, it's your turn.
Okay, got it. He's on top
So
of you.
nothing attacks me. Cool. All right.
Mhm.
Well, since the one big threat's down, I'm just going to be methodical about this. 10, 20, 25. Dodge action. Just stay behind me there, Santa, and I don't know, stun anything that jumps at us.
Alright, yeah, I'll trigger an action to throw a stun grenade at anything that jumps at us.
Why would you trigger? What is that? What?
Don't worry about it, it's just how gnomes talk.
His superpower is he's actually just breaking the fourth wall the whole time.
Jin and Leganor.
Dimension door.
Alright, so that moves your little thingamadooter.
So
Blink.
I guess. Bring
Who's
us.
casting it?
I would be casting it, so it would be directly across in a kind of an alcove, if there are any. I can't really see. I can't see the map. So, if there's
Well,
an
we wanna-
alcove, a place that we could probably see directly across, but that there's nobody in.
That puts you here. So I will move your tokens temporarily where that is. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a second.
Oh, I thought it was close. Right. It's not. Anyway.
So you're on the pink square.
Cool, perfect.
I believe that's their turn.
That is, in fact, their turn.
So it's definitely 60, but not quite 30 feet, I imagine, right?
Depending on where you're measuring, but you can take
To
your
the-
you can take your little
the-
rangefinder and see where your range is.
Right, but it's all dark where the range ends up, so I don't know if it's hitting or not.
I'm here.
It's
Yeah.
70 feet to his current location.
And he's on the pillar right now?
Nope, I'll move you back where
No.
he is.
The pillar's here.
I will move you back where he is so you can see everything that's happening.
I just want to know if I can do another Vicious Mockery 60-foot range on the spider on the pillar.
Probably. If this is the pillar.
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Bada bing.
He does that. He has to do a wisdom saving throw. And fails. So
Spider's got a big butt.
he receives 5 psychic damage and has a disadvantage on his next attack. Very good. Now that he's been engaged, he will leap down from the pillar. He leaps up first, and then he lands atop Mike. Mike, make a strength save, excuse me. That is a successful strength save. So you are not grappled, but you are bitten twice, both of which hit.
At advantage?
Excuse me,
'Cause
one
I
of which hits.
Damn it. One of them got through still.
Yes. So you need to make a Constitution saving throw,
Darn it all.
and you succeed. So you take 10 piercing damage, but only 3 lightning damage as the fangs shock your shoulder where it sinks in.
Jesus.
How much total? Sorry?
13 total.
Okay. Where is this thing right now?
Well, it was atop you, but you. I just moved you for a second. Hang on, everybody. Everybody's on top of each other. 1 second.
Okay.
Because you're not grappled, it shifts away, so it's there. And that brings up your turn.
You got anything that can heal me back there, Santa?
Oh, sorry. He uses his triggered action from last turn,
Ah!
and
helps.
hucks a stun grenade at it. It sticks. Upon the initial hit, the stick rather, it discharges, dealing some lightning damage. And then he says, and then on his actual turn, or it's technically your turn, but in response to your question, he says, "Yeah, I can patch you up, but I get some distance from that thing."
Okay. Distance, does he move?
It's
I'm
your
curious how
turn.
far
That
back
was just
he moves.
speaking.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I will. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna dodge action. Instead of disengaging, I'm just gonna take the risk and move 5, or no, 10, 20, 30.
Okay. It will attempt to bite you as you run. But because you dodged, it does not succeed.
Cool.
And that brings up his turn. He also ducks into your space, rummages in his sack, and produces what looks like synth bar, but it's like not brown. It's like bright orange, and there's little green flecks in it. And he says, "Chomp on one of these!" And you eat it, and instead of tasting kind of like beef jerky, it tastes kind of like a bland oatmeal bar, and it's really gross and disgusting.
Don't care.
But after you eat it, you heal 2d8 health.
Who's rolling that?
He should roll it, actually. / roll 2d8.
2.
So you gain 6 health.
I'll take it. Okay.
And that brings up Jin and Leganor.
Is that spider still within 60 feet?
Is that spider
No.
still within 60 feet? I don't think it is.
No, you were just at 60 and it's closer to me,
It
so
is
no.
at 65 feet.
I can't move forward anymore,
You
can I?
are right in the front row.
I don't know why I have this image of like a selfie stick where you're trying to like just go a little further. Like, vicious mockery from here.
Sorry, I'm checking
And
range.
technically, because you're up many feet, the hypotenuse is
Yeah.
further. But I'll give it to you. The 60, not the 65.
Fairy Fire has a 60-foot range, but if I cast it at max range and it's each object within a 20-foot cube, would I be able to...
Technically, you could hit it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you talk about
I only want it to hit the spider. I don't want it to hit Wallace, because then it's...
Wallace is
kind of-
is around the corner and like 15 feet away.
Okay, so I can hit the spider with Fairy Fire then, if I do that, right?
Correct. You can
Okay.
fairy fire the space behind it.
Yep.
Spell save.
Yeah.
DC
So it's a
14.
dex save.
Dex save fails. So it's fairy fire.
Cool.
Quit prancing around, you fairy!
Ha!
Probably
That is only a verbal component. So
Politically correct thing you could
Yep.
say, but this is the steampunk era, so...
That's true. Cool. So you do that. Jin, do you do anything?
Just encourage him because I can't do anything.
Go,
I don't have any
Shuya!
sort
You
of.
can do it! That will bring up the spider. On its turn, a
blow up.
blue orb stuck to its thorax explodes
Oh, thank God it happened before it got to me.
for max
Wow.
damage,
Woo!
which kills it. Because it's
Hell yeah.
it's lightning. It's a lightning explosion, which is double damage.
Oh. That's fantastic.
So that was a 20 damage grenade.
Did it? I think. Good job, Santa. I think you got it. As he's like crouched under my armpit.
Oh, yeah, those mechanical beasts don't usually like the electricity much.
Is it okay? Is stuff happening still, or is it my turn?
It is your turn.
10. Cool, it's dead. 20. 30. Dodge action.
All right.
Yay, difficult brain.
Fires
Why are you
to
dodging
you.
again?
Because I have no. These things keep coming over the walls. That's why.
I was like, did I miss something? Is there another... I didn't know if there was another enemy.
Because I've seen these things come over the walls and just
Oh,
land on me. That's why.
I understand why you take it preemptively. I, for a second, thought there was someone on the battlefield I had missed.
No.
Jin and Leganor.
As far as I know, that the only other target that I had to deal with is out of pictures, so I'm trying to be more careful now.
So Wallace moved? Yes?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I did move.
Is he now within 60 feet?
No, I'm still at
Nope.
70.
Oh. Damn. Well, words of encouragement from the stands.
Yeah, just tell him to keep moving. You're almost there.
All right. That brings up Wallace again.
5, 10, 15, 20. Look over here. 25, 30. Okay. 35, 40. 45, 50. Oh, wait, no. Nah, it's fine. I already moved too far. I'll stop there so Santa can keep up.
And he does the best his little legs can take him. Okay. Jin and Leganor.
60 feet.
I'm inside 60 now.
Yes.
I'm stuck. I can't move my token.
There's a moment where Wallace looks up and he sees Jin and I in the crowd.
Got it.
And right as he does that, I do want to
Wait a
be
minute.
like,
You can't tell Mike where he looks.
this is just for cinematic RP. This is not like
All right.
I'm gonna upcast healing word as a 4th level spell and do like a little go get him sport. And right as I do that, it's only a verbal component anyway, so it's just RP. It's just
I get you. But Mike, as your eyes are darting to and fro, looking for spiders, all of a sudden you're healing worded at level 4.
So you got to heal me there, Jeff.
no, that should be higher. Or no, there we go. Yeah,
3d4
No.
was 9, and
Four-
then another d4 plus 3.
that feels off because it's a first level.
1, 2, 3. I see 4d4 plus 3 is what was just rolled.
Okay, it's just weird how it broke that up. So 16, right?
Yeah, so the spell did 7, and then your higher level cast added 3d4 to it. That's what you're looking at.
I see how it breaks it down. Okay.
Yeah.
Because you don't add the modifier onto the. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The spell
So
healed for
it's-
7, and then the 3 additional levels
6.
healed for another 9.
So
So 16 health to you, Mike.
Scares me because that tells me that I've got more to deal with. But that's very helpful. Cool.
All right.
All right.
I'm just trying to be useful.
Mike, it's your turn.
5, 10. Well, that's a choice here. 15, 20. 5. Stopping and dodge actioning, waiting for Santa to catch up.
All right. He
Mike!
runs around.
I don't trust this.
He says, "Oh, there it is! Reach out and touch
Is
it!"
it just where is it like where is
So
it visually?
There's like
vertically.
there's like a 3-foot tall little stone pillar, and then the orb
Okay.
is just sitting in because there's like a little concave depression at the top of it, and this orb, which is about this big, is sitting on the pillar.
All right.
Careful, it might be a port key.
I'm so like I'm looking around to see if there's anything else in this space. Like I don't know, like things on the walls. Looking up for the spiders on the edges. Like I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Like I don't know. I'm trying to basically investigate.
Sure. Roll an investigation. You see the same stone wall texture that you've seen on all the walls. This path terminates in a dead end, and in the center of the dead end is what I described in terms of the pillar and the orb. Looking up at the tops of the walls, you don't notice any skittery metal legs or anything that you can see.
All right. So technically, I'm guessing the crowd's going nuts right now.
Yes, they are in fact cheering and going pretty crazy.
So technically, I have 5 more.
Price is Right-esque cheering you on, like.
So technically, I've got 5 more feet of movement. So.
Okay.
Eh.
You step forward.
Free action touch.
You touch the orb. Immediately upon touching the orb, the walls begin to lower. And
I'm still like, I don't think it's over yet. I'm like spinning around, being like, okay, now what?
Ah,
Oh wow, she died all the way over there. In a net. Fuck.
the wall's lower, and you see.
This dude.
Nope. These spiders all move to here and then exit the arena. Arbiter Jiang
The
emerges.
walls are still there. I can't move.
Oh, really?
That's alright. Yeah, like
I
I
turned
can't
dynamic lighting off.
right, but I still can't move through apparently one of the walls.
That's so
like I'm
annoying.
trying to.
Hang on, I can fix that. You just gotta.
That's fine. I just think it's funny that like now there's wall. Now the walls didn't really lower. They just went invisible. Good luck. Just like how do I get out of here?
Hang on.
That would make for a real interesting maze.
Pretty sure I can fix that.
You can see the ball, but good luck.
Can you move now?
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Great.
Okay. So like time doesn't stop like it did last time.
No, time does not stop. But Arbiter Jiang does he jumps off of the wall from like 30 feet up, but then
Other falls.
not feather fall, but the hourglass on his hip like glows, and you see him like slow motion fall as he floats sort of down onto the sand, and then it stops
Okay.
glowing, and he walks at normal pace, and he comes over to you, and he says, "Congratulations are in order for the victors, Frosty and the Snow Cones."
Benny and the Jets, all right.
Yes, they're not dead. They were unconscious.
I'm just still asking because
And
they're still not moving.
he doesn't, but like other attendants of the arena, they come out from side doors and they like kind of drag them off to the south.
Got it.
This way, and take them off the map. And he says, "You may proceed to the victor's quarters."
Can I am I allowed to bring guests down with me? Like, can I bring? I don't know. What are they called? Groupies.
We have supplied an ample amount of fans.
But thanks, Minister. What do we call you again? Sorry.
Arbiter Jong, you would know that.
Oh, I would. Okay. Thank you, Mister Arbiter John, person, sir.
Yes, I shall keep my eyes on you as you progress through the ladder.
Thanks. Back away slowly. You got quite the nifty little contraption on your hip there.
Cheers for the Snow Cones! He shouts, and the crowd goes wild.
Out of curiosity, is there some way that where'd you get the little 8-looking tumbler thingy on your waist there?
The what?
The 8-looking tumbler thingy, the hourglass.
8-looking tumbler thingy? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I get it.
It looks like an 8.
Oh! Okay! I guess it doesn't in my head because it's like surrounded by like a casement, but I get what you're saying.
Oh, okay.
I get
Yes, I'm trying to refer to it as hourglass.
I understand. I knew what you were referring to. I just didn't know what words you were using to do it.
Ah.
And he doesn't seem to like answer you. He just He's like, cheers for the snow cones. He hears your question. He kind of glances over and doesn't address specifically what you said.
Are there any opportunities where you and I could, I don't know, sit down, chat, get to know each other? Over a drink, perhaps?
You can always make an appointment with the administration, but I must tend to my other duties. And he wanders off this way.
I will put my arm around Santa and sort of just walk in with the... You, just full of surprises, little man.
Well, my sack certainly is.
Yeah, how many... May I look in there?
Oh, no! Magicians always gotta keep a secret.
You may... Very good, sir. Well, you certainly are handy in a tight fix. I must thank you very kindly. What do I... as we're walking in, I'll have this conversation. Anything I can do to show my appreciation?
Or just give me a good rating.
We can do that. I can certainly do that.
I'm just happy I get to go to the green room.
Yay, green room!
Okay, so at this point, combat is obviously over.
Huzzah! We did the thing.
I guess at one point I will like wave up to the crowd.
When you do, they respond in kind. Frosty and the Snow Cones making a bit of a name for themselves.
Alright.
So, we're still a split party. Jin and Leganor, you see the successful conclusion of the fight. As Arbiter Zhang floats down, the Jenny and the Bets are escorted off of the field. Wallace and the Arbiter exchange a word, and he heads north off into what you know is the Green Room Zone.
Well, I guess we'll start heading that way.
I say, hey, Lex, we won. Nice.
Not too shabby.
I give him a high five.
Do the high five and like the. If only we had been able to bet on ourselves. We'll do it next time. Next time we fight. Every credit we got.
So what's your two's plan? You're trying to head to the green room?
Head to the green room, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll go to Mike. Mike, you are escorted down a familiar path over to the green room area. Upon entry, you and Skull Crusher are greeted with a similar scene. Food and women and healing station and all the stuff that I said last time is all there.
Well, enjoying yourself, good sir. I got some business in this space I got to attend to. First, I will go to the healing
By the
station.
time you finish that sentence, he has a handful of green olives and he's eating them.
So yeah, I will go to the healing station.
Okay.
I'm assuming get healed.
Yep, they do their little magic. Not magic, but they work their trade and get you all patched up.
All right. At this point, I'm just gonna start using my investigatory skills and try to figure out where the hell Flosty ended up. So, like, the intel I was given was that they took him underneath the under thing or whatever it was. The under, I think is what he called it. Did I actually take notes on this? Let's see. Let's see. Nope, that's all notes about the sex dungeon.
The internet is dying to know because that was not recorded.
Yeah, you're right. That wasn't recorded.
Like, do you want to rehash it, perhaps?
I'm waiting for the off-stream recorded Masterpiece Theater video.
I do need to get around to that. Yes. I think I was too busy role playing to actually take notes on that particular. Let's see. Let's see. Brought to a safe half of sets. Getting a letter to hand to the registration for a good fourth man. That's all I wrote down. Damn it. All right. Well, I do remember him saying something about the fact that Frosty was taken underneath the green room. So, Yeah. Now I'm just kind of like we're trying to remember whatever the room was, the last one that Frosty was I saw in. And I like
So last time you saw Frosty, or Sturgis, as he's actually named, was in this green room, in this big sort of antechamber, and he was hanging out by the groupies, telling tales of being a dwarf and being awesome.
right. So I'm gonna look up. Basically, I'm gonna try to I don't know investigate for. I'm almost basically I'm looking for walls that may have moved or some sort of secret entrance, perhaps. Like I'm trying to see like looking at corners of doors to see like is there a place where like maybe there's dust where there shouldn't be, or like it looks like the floor may have been scraped, or yeah, that sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah,
I'm investigating.
make an investigation check.
Oh, that's a sad roll for that.
Okay. I think I can use this. One moment.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I gotta put the baby monitor on.
Adulting
Yeah.
is occurring.
So he, what you 15. So what you see that looks out of place, is over by the cushions where all of the groupie girls are.
Right.
You notice that the cushions themselves are not in the same position or order. They're like they're strewn about in a different way, and there's like hanging tapestries and drapery and stuff over there, and it's not as brightly lit, and it's the only thing that you notice that looks any different from the last time you were here.
Okay. Can I poke at the draperies to see if maybe there's something behind them that isn't obvious?
Yeah, so as you approach there's like
Groupies.
several ladies lying about on the cushions, and you walk over and they are swooning and talking about how big your muscles are and how amazing your fight was, and they're really impressed, and you ignore all that and start poking at the curtains behind them.
I mean, I would like that's are they the same people?
I mean, I don't know that you would have the wherewithal to recognize whether all the faces were the same.
Okay.
But you don't recognize everyone you see.
Okay. I don't suppose any of you folks were chatting up a dwarf friend of mine last time I was in here.
I don't know. We talked to so many Victors.
How do you get in here? Out of curiosity, like how do you got you into this room?
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to.
I mean, it's. What are you talking about? You're funny.
Yeah, all right, and I'll proceed to ignore them and go to the tapestries.
So as you approach the curtains, they start hanging on you. They're trying to feed you cheese, and they're like,
Wait, this is as he's walking. Ththey're like, "Here, eat cheese."
yeah, they're like, hey, where you go? Here, try this. Here, come sit with
No,
us.
I'm good, really. No, I don't. That's not my thing. Thanks. Just
If I was there right now, I'd be like, "Ladies, there's time later for hors d'oeuvres."
So now that you're making a little bit of a scene, nothing crazy.
this is why you come to these streams, internet.
Now that you're making small commotion,
Accurate and topical. Okay.
Skull Crusher appears seemingly out of nowhere with a mouthful of olives and pimentos, green olives, and he says, spitting olive chunks everywhere, "Confound you blasted ladies! Can't you tell the man doesn't want anything to do with you? He's busy. He's got a hard day. He doesn't want to chit-chat with you fool airheads."
Why don't you provide him with all of your adoring attention?
I don't want their attention. I just want some more of those olives. They're delicious.
Well, I tried.
Blasted,
Just trying to share the love. Just trying to share the love there, Santa.
you blasted darn girls group is the devil's work. That's what you are.
So yeah, I don't know, just
So
gently.
in doing all of that, the ladies are like
Right.
put off and scattered, and they go and they pout in the corner.
Okay.
He then leans up towards you and says, just hang out a while until the girls leave, and then I can help you out."
Stop. Go. Try to find a sandwich. But so I will not. I don't say anything. I'll just stop looking and then go eat food.
He leads you over and points out some of the choicest of foods.
I shall nod my
Like an
head.
orange inn. As you meander through the stands, making your way downtown, heading to the other side of those doors, as you recall, the exit to the green room leads to the Champions Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
Making my way downtown, walking.
So to go the other direction, you'd have to go out of the arena, around into the Champions' quarters, and then make your way to where that door is. Is that what you guys are planning to do?
Yes.
Yeah, however, it's going to get us to the green room the fastest.
All right.
Yep.
So let's flip our map over to the larger area. I've still not built all of the maps just because it's time consuming and I just haven't gotten there. But where the heck are you guys?
Probably the quartermaster. Yeah, quartermaster.
Ah, there you are. So you guys. Hey.
Are you gonna move it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Where the heck did you go? Oh, you're over there.
I'm here.
I'm so zoomed
Champion
out.
quarters.
Nobody move. I have to okay, I got it. So you guys make it to here, and this is the door over here. And there are these two things standing on either side of the door.
Things.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah, no, I see him.
Oh, they're like the clockwork sentinel type
Oh.
things.
Automaton thingamabobbers.
Mm.
I came up with a name for one. I don't remember what it was now, though.
Yeah, I is it my turn? Yeah, I'll go. I think nothing of it. I just start to walk into the green room.
So yeah,
I don't even pay them a second mind.
You approach the door, and they close together to bar your path, and they just put their hands out.
Oh, hey guys, we're with Frosty and Snow Cones. We're Snow Cones.
We are. We belong in there. Please let us pass.
They seem unfazed and are unwavering.
I just kind of gently knock it on the face, like, "Hey, Snow Cone, I'm in there."
As you reach up to knock it, so it's going like this, like halt, and you reach up to knock its face. The other hand comes forward and firmly grasps your wrist. And then it gently pushes your wrist away.
Well, can you get
around here?
What'd you say, Jeff?
I said, who's in charge around here? There's no one else.
Silence.
It's just those two
Silence.
things silently guarding the door.
Sorry, I can't help but chuckle at the fact that, like, I'm a snow cone, damn it!
That's really good.
Well, I mean, I guess we could wait in here for when they finally come through that way, right?
Can you get Wallace? And I'm assuming they don't move or respond in any way.
The one on the right points over here at a panel.
Ah! I go to the panel.
Okay, it's a panel.
I look up Wallace.
It goes. and displays 14 hits.
Lycanor, can you send him a message, or do you have to see him?
Yeah, I have to see him. He's got to be in visual range. Yeah. Oh, wait a second. You can cast this spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. Magical silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell. The spell does not have to follow a straight line, can freely travel around corners or through openings.
Oh, so maybe you can cast it through the door. Might be worth a try.
Let's do it.
Well,
So,
the first thing it says is you point your finger toward a creature.
but we know the direction of here. You can cast a spell through solid objects if you are familiar with the target and know it is beyond the barrier. So, I mean, conceivably, since it's a cantrip, I could kind of cheese it a little bit and be like, Wallace, Wallace,
You're-
Wallace.
You could, in theory, do that, but you would also know that this door is not. The other side of this door is not the green room. It's the hallway after the green room that leads back to here.
So we're okay. I'm
So
confused. I thought
if I were to draw the map, they went here, and this kind of goes in this direction. Sorry, that last line was really bad. This kind of goes off in this direction. This goes off in this direction. And then there's the thing. This is like a hallway. And then there's the green room here. And then this is like their doors. And then this eventually leads like that. And there's that door there. So from the last time you were in the green room, this is sort of the layout.
and so this is underneath because it's clearly not right in front. That's what I'm confused
So
about.
remember, what you're seeing on the map is the top of the stands.
No, I get that.
So under
The
what
stands
you're-
are on top, and the green room is underneath
Yeah,
the stands.
exactly.
And then the champions' quarters are adjacent to the green room.
The champions' quarters are this whole area.
So if I'm standing at the door, then I feel like I should be able to do that because it's not a wide arc of direction that Wallace could be standing in, right? Like I know where the green room is. I know I could stand in.
The 1 foot of stone you're going to encounter more of trying to make it all the way to the green room is what I'm trying to suggest. You can go through a foot of stone, and there's a lot more than a foot of stone along this trajectory.
Right, but it can travel around corners and down hallways. So
Okay, and you got a door here, and you got a door there.
right, so do the doors are they made of stone or wood?
They're made of brass clapped steampunk doors, I guess.
I guess I mean obviously like you tell me, but I feel like I'd be within range. It's a matter of actually you say
1 inch, 1 inch of common metal, you're definitely encountering at least that within these two doors.
Okay. Well, gee, I mean, Jin, I don't know. I suppose we can wait here for when they show up. Not much else we can do.
I guess that's it then. Unless... I can get us in. If we know exactly where we're going. We've been to this room before, right?
Yeah.
I can get us in. It might be it's a risk if we happen to be in a place where there is another creature or wall, we could take some damage.
That, and do we want them? I mean, who else is in that room? What if they see us just pop up
Poof
in
into
there?
existence.
They're going to be wondering about that, maybe.
Yeah. All right. I guess we just wait it out. Can I knock on the door? Like reach past the guys? No.
They are in the way.
Okay.
And like as you move, their heads are like following you. They're watching.
Well, then I sit down right at their feet, like directly in front of these robots.
Okay.
But you're like 6'8", so your head's still like to their waist.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you start blowing the robots, and they are heads fixated right at you.
It's like this.
Quality family entertainment here, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
I've just precluded myself from drinking anymore from my bottle for the rest of this episode.
What are you doing, Jeff? Anything?
I'm just waiting.
Just
I don't think I can.
All right.
Cue Jeopardy music.
Yeah, right. Back to Mike and Skullcrusher. So you
Who are
guys,
also waiting.
you're also waiting. So you guys are eating. You're hanging out. Eventually, some of the people.
I will make small chat with like the attendees, just being like, "So, what's one of the craziest stories you've ever heard?"
Oh, one of the craziest stories I've ever heard? I once heard a story that there was a kid living outside the walls. And, like, he survived on his own. He was, like, 8 years old. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Where'd you hear that story?
Oh, it was, like, a couple weeks ago.
Huh. What's the craziest fight you've ever seen?
Craziest fight I've ever seen. Probably the poison toads.
So I'm curious. Was there a chance that nobody won that fight?
Yeah, I mean,
Because it looked like my competition was taken out, but the fight was still happening.
yeah, I mean, if you guys didn't make it past the mecha spiders, then it would have been a draw.
Okay, so draws happen. That's good to know. So yeah, tell me more about the poison toads.
Oh, it was awesome. Arbiter Jong, I don't know even where they came from, but he had poisonous toads rain down, and like covered the whole arena floor. And at first, like the team was like, whatever, they're just little like frogs, right? So they start like stomping on them. But what they didn't realize is that when you did, they would like explode in these little poison clouds, and they were like all choking on the gas, and it was like all burning their skin. It was nuts, man. It was wild. It was wild. One of them had like scaly hands. I think he was like a dragon or something, dragonborn, whatever they're called. And he didn't seem to be burned or whatever, so he was like throwing toads at the other team like they were poison grenades. It was crazy.
Wow. Curious, how long has Arbiter John been doing this?
Oh, I mean, forever, as far as I know.
Do you know if anybody else has ever had
like,
those?
Who else would do it?
Well, that's what I'm curious. Is there if for whatever reason he's or predisposed somewhere? Is there someone else that can? Is there somebody else that can do his job?
I don't think so.
Is there anybody else that's got their clever little doohickey that he's got on his waist there?
What the hell do they call that thing? No, that's like a Jong original.
He made that himself.
Oh, I don't know where he got it. The dude's like wicked old.
Fascinating. All right. Well,
Some people say he's been around like, I don't know. Some people say he's 80. Some people say he's 200, which is absurd. Other people say he's like 500 years old. Like nobody knows how old this guy is. He's been around a long time.
is there anybody else that's as old as he is?
Not that I know of.
Huh. All right. I mean, I'm just making small chat to kill time at this point.
Okay. So the first people that sort of leave the green room are the healing station once they're no longer in service. They pack up their kit and they head out through the double doors. The exit that looks like the exit. Um, and then Jeff and Mike, I mean, excuse me, Jeff and Zach, at some point while you're waiting, the doors open and out pops two people and this metal case, which you recognize looks like the healing station case from the last time you were there. The doors open, the clockwork guys part ways, allow them to exit, the doors close, and they take their place back at their watch.
Well, the doors would have opened, and they would have had Jin like right in front of them.
They
Okay,
would have
yeah,
like tripped over me.
in theory, that's true.
Quick question: when those doors open, am I still out of range and material for a message, or would that affect it?
I gotta think the doors are more than an inch thick.
Okay. So the doors themselves are made of solid metal. It's not like a little bit of like sheet metal on the outside with a wood core.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I drew this map very medieval, but in fact, remember, we're in steampunk world, so you're dealing with a lot of metal architecture, a lot of brass.
No,
bronze.
I didn't know.
Brass and bronze.
I didn't know if that was like a moment, like a quick opportunity thing.
I mean, it was a good thought, but you don't seem to get purchase with your message.
Okay. Well, I will continue to wait here because if they just came through, then I'm sure our friends will be coming.
Mike brings up a good point. So the clockwork guards part ways to allow the guys out, and they see a dragonborn sitting in front of their feet. And, can I help you?
Oh, hey, can you grab Wallace in there for us? Where's snow cones?
Oh, you're like you're in the team?
Yeah.
Why weren't you in the?
Can you
fight
grab Wallace? Yeah, we missed it. Long story. Got kidnapped by hobos. Can you grab Wallace?
I mean, I can't go get him. Like, I can't go back in right now. But
Can you just...
I mean, you could just send him a message. And he points to the panel.
Can you show us how?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's like real easy. When he walks over and he pulls up the panel, and he see him type like message, green room, and said just tell him what you want to tell him. Just address it to him like his full name.
Oh, hey, Wallace. We are here. Go.
So Mike, you receive that in or you don't receive it.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Mike,
perfect.
You hear you hear on a panel on the side of the wall.
I look
And
like any of the other attendees go to look at it.
Yep. So one of the attendees walks over to it. Hey, Wall, less we are here.
What?
I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry. Did you say Wallace?
Wall less. I don't know. Somebody sent a weird
Is
message.
it lack of a wall? I don't know.
I think it's just spam.
Okay. Bam. What is what?
Spam.
And now I'm curious. Like, what is spam? And I'll walk over and I'll just read that, and I'm like, that's the word spam isn't in there. What? I don't. Actually, what's the word? I'm like, what is spam? Like, I don't think Wallace would have ever heard that word before. Hey, Wallace, what? Does it say anything about like where it came from?
Yeah. So like, think of like chat, relay chat, sort of IR chat rooms from the 90s. You get like a from, and it's like panel xg-42 hero quarter 2 user Wallace at green room, and then the message.
New phone, who dis?
Bravo. That is the name of this episode.
New phone who dis.
New phone who dis.
Ah,
All right.
God,
So it's
if Jin writes,
are you good for time,
"Cash
Zach?
me outside," I'm gonna lose my shit.
Cash me out.
Are you good for time, Zach?
yeah, it's 10:40.
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm okay for a little bit.
We can go for a little while.
So
What the hell do I do with this?
I'll immediately follow it up with another message. Just say, "This is Jin."
Oh, Bockles. What? Where's okay?
That's a low opinion of Zach. He can't even spell his own name right.
Yeah.
Well, it's less that.
Wallace reads all the time, so
It's
I think I
less-
would know how to.
It's less that and more that he is
The typing,
unfamiliar with
yeah.
typing. Yeah.
I see.
Where's here?
Is this a philosophical question?
I guess.
Can Discord see this? Out of curiosity, can Discord see the chat?
Yes, they can see this. So this is
Okay.
like literally the conversation. Jin is typing.
Oh Lord.
Multimedia roleplay,
With
man. This is.
Robots.
Bro.
I love it. Let's
Come to.
I'm assuming that this keyboard has punctuation on it, right?
yeah.
So it's plausible that Jin would actually stand to communicate better with emojis than typing shit out.
I mean, it's a possibility. I think you guys are both capable of role playing. I'm not going to interfere with your typing.
What I'm doing right now, laughing, is exactly what I'm doing in character. I'm just looking over your shoulder, laughing.
Robot, stop us! This is great. This couldn't have gone any better.
You know what's funny? It's a rare moment where we can actually continue to roleplay even when we're not logged into Roll20 because we can just do this in the group chat.
This,
This is true. We can just communicate with each other via panels.
All week. What's he saying, Jin?
He's saying he's looking around. Like, he's not. Maybe I can tell him to let us in.
No, tell him to come out here now and to get the robots to let us in.
So at this point, I'll. Well, here, let's do this. Tell them to let us. Oh. Pardon me, sir. Is there any way that
Oh,
we
what's that?
can, like, I'm talking to the attendants. Like, is
Yeah,
there any
sure.
way that some of my teammates that would normally be in a fight but missed this one can be allowed in here?
Sorry, there's really strict visitation policy. If you don't win the fight, you don't get access to the green room. I mean, you could imagine that everyone and his mother would want to come in for the real food, so it's kind of a reward for the winners. No,
But can they be like the ladies? Like, are they allowed in like that?
it's not.
What are we gonna have to do?
It doesn't quite work that way. I mean, these are employees of the arena. They're not just random groupies. So we don't pick them up off the street.
Ah, all right.
They're all well vetted. If you know what I'm saying.
All right. Well, that's unfortunate. All right. Okay. Well, I guess I'd have to tell them that. And if I come out, I can't come back in. Is that right?
Yeah, those are sort of one-way doors.
Thank you.
Unless you can go through walls, but that's silly.
Yeah, that would be very silly. Such an odd way
Now's
to
a good
talk.
time for an emoji.
Yeah, it would be a middle finger emoji if we could, but
I can't help but thinking they're gonna see whatever it is. I don't know.
That's what I send. I type over Jin's shoulder.
Nice. I give you a high five. Or no, wait. Our high five should be like the Arnold and Gerald one. The woo 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 woo.
I don't.
Man, it won't show because I'm using an angle bracket. That stinks.
What is happening? What? I don't.
Technically, these are emoticons at this point.
Why does he have two? What? I don't.
I shouldn't be laughing because I shouldn't be able to hear you saying these things, but it's hilarious.
Sorry,
Just
I
imagine him doing
I messed
it.
up the flow of the conversation typing silly stuff.
I'm looking over the attendance now. Is this thing broken? It's just making lines and dots now. I don't understand.
So, wait, Jeff, did you actually type all that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because my messages are not there, but Mike's are. And so the attendant's going to look and go, oh, that's really clever. I've never seen that before. It looks like they used the punctuation characters on the keyboard to make little faces.
It would be a bard to come up with that. So
What? Faces. I don't.
Yeah, don't you see it's like, so that first one is like, it's like this kind of face. And then the second one is like a sad face. And then the third one's like it's like a happy face. I see it. You don't see it, I see it.
Do we just start a trend? we began the concept of memes.
You began the concept
I
of
think
emojis.
I understand. I just don't understand why they're doing that. Oh, what? Okay. Are the groupies still in the room, by the way?
Groupies are still lounging about.
Don't be an 8. What? An 8? What? I'm not. I don't.
The next people to leave are several of the attendees after they pack up most of the discarded food bits. And Leganor and Jin, again, the doors open. And they're open for a while as a bunch of people and some like carts and foodstuffs come through. And then the doors close. Okay.
Is there another fight going on outside, by the way?
I have to check the roster. Stand by. Everything is everywhere. I have way too many things. Yes, there is a second fight today.
Roughnecks and Warriors of Thunder.
ooh. Coming to a real showdown now.
Did I click show that? I didn't mean to show it. Sorry.
I mean, it's something we didn't already know.
I'm really upset about that Miami Dolphins. Any hoozle. Reminding me back in the corner. Okay. And then, after getting increasingly bored and frustrated, the ladies began to leave as well. And a few seconds later, the doors open
I'd
again.
send that like if they.
So after you get that message, the doors open, and 5 or 6, I forget how many, um, ladies of the green room emerge, and they're all like chatting, as one would expect a bunch of Instagram models who are no longer being watched by the guys they're performing for would just kind of cattily chat to each other.
I don't even know what that means.
I can picture that exactly.
Like Mike doesn't actually know what an Instagram model would like even do. Like I'm old.
There's a lot of
Like when the cameras are on, they have a personality, but then when the cameras are off, they're very different. And like those are the people that Jeff and Zach see emerging.
oh yeah, a lot of my income comes from those bimbos. So
High respect for his clientele.
Mike's never waited tables.
nope.
No,
If
no,
you
no.
heard conversations, Mike, you would definitely not even try to take their side.
Fair enough. Okay, so now
I don't
They're
understand.
up.
Is it chicken or is it fish? Because it's like tuna, but it's chicken of the sea. So is it chicken or is it fish?
Sadly, okay. Quick
now I want to see waiting again.
20-second story. I had these two 25-year-old girls they said they were waiting for their husbands. So they're like, oh, we're just going to order like an app and a couple drinks, then maybe do entrees depending on what they do. So they order tequila. They like, I forget what it was. It was like Don Julio Anejo or something, but it was like we sell it for $25 a glass. So I'm like, whoa, okay. They know how to ball. All right. But then like an hour goes by. I'm like, ladies, did you want to order something? And this is what she said. She's had 2 drinks, $50 worth of tequila. And she goes, do you have like mac and cheese? And I was just like, what the fuck? Mac and cheese with a fucking $25? And I just looked at her. I was like, no, we don't have that. We have steak and salmon and other foods, but I'll be back. And I just walked away because I was like,
I just need a minute.
yeah, like,
Do you guys have mac and cheese?
yeah. No, not do you have, like, do you like have mac and cheese?
Do you like have mac and cheese?
Exactly like that.
Wow.
You know what we like have? Adult food for adults.
Yes, thank you.
You know what we also don't have? Ritz crackers, just in case you're curious. Here's a special menu I printed of all the things we definitely don't have. You'll notice chicken nuggets is also on the list.
Hold on. Let me go get the crayons for you.
Yeah,
Clearly
right.
we forgot to do that.
Sorry. You know what? You're done with this. Give me this drink back.
Just give us back.
Anyway, gentlemen, I think with that anecdote, we are going to break for the day.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll just put a little note here. Oh, we don't need to put a note because you guys are chatting via text. So we already know what the last thing happened. We will come back next time.
Huzzah.
Cool.
With that,
That's
we will
fine, Internet.
end the stream. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. Have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, the internet. Live
See you
long
next
and
time.
roll 20s.